Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Junaid Bray, one of the portfolio managers of the Curate Equity Fund. So, just to give a brief background about Laurium and who we are. So, Laurium was really started in 2008, just before the GFC, by Murray Winkler, sitting at the back there, and Gavin Forberg, both ex-Deutsche Bank, set up initially a hedge fund with money from friends and family, and then went into the tough period of the GFC. Came out quite nicely at the other end of that. Obviously, having gone through a very harrowing experience, and then subsequently diversified the business, going into long only funds, as well as African equities and global equities over time. So we've really built up the team and capabilities and experience. And one of the things we have done is that we've integrated our research process and team. So we have one team of 18 investment professionals, and we do SA equities. We've got a strong capability in Africa. We have teams on the ground meeting companies, and then also in the last couple of years, we've complemented that by building out our global capabilities. One of the other things about Laurium, we've got a small ownership by a charitable trust. Other than that, the business is 100% owned by our current staff across the board, from the founders, Murray and Gavin, all the way down to many other senior investment professionals, as well as business development and operations people. And all of that's come together. I think we've got a longer term track record. We rank about mostly first and second quartile across our funds over the long term. If I had to summarize Laurium, and I think one thing that we try to, as we've grown, we've tried to stick to the entrepreneurial and boutique flair that made us successful at the beginning. We're cognizant about, as we grow, we don't want to introduce bureaucracy into the business, and we want to continue to remain agile and nimble. And we try to keep that as part of the culture of the firm as we've grown. So just to touch on the Curate Momentum Equity Fund, I mean, we're really proud to be partnering and happy to be partnering with Curate. The fund is really mostly South African equities. About 2/3 of the fund will be South African equities, and a third will be supplemented by some of our best global ideas that we will include in the fund. And what that does is, I think, really, if you look at the South African equity market, there are certain stocks, sectors, geographies that you won't ordinarily be able to access directly in the South African equity market. So we supplement some of those best ideas, and the aim is really just to get, from a bottom-up perspective, the best ideas into this fund and generate alpha over time. And it does help to reduce the risk as well by diversifying. So if I look at our investment philosophy, and really fundamental, bottom-up fundamental investors that's valuation-based, the valuation focus. That's in our DNA, in a nutshell, what we do, and that speaks to all of our funds that we run. We implement the same investment philosophy and approach from a bottom-up selection perspective, and that's where our team and our analysts spend most of their time analyzing the bottom-up securities on that basis. At the same time, we do apply a macro overlay. We understand that companies and industries don't operate completely in a vacuum. And when we're investing, we try to get a sense of, at least a view of, what is the outlook in the short to medium term for certain indices and geographies from a macro perspective. And we apply that as an overlay, really, but really sticking to the bottom-up fundamentals. And then, given the hedge fund DNA of the firm, special opportunities where they do arise and where it is applicable to implement some of these ideas into the fund, we would take advantage of those and implement those ideas. And we've made some good alpha from some of those ideas over time. So the fund takes basically from the SA listed equity universe, that's about 65% roughly, and then about 35% of the global best ideas, and we put that together. From the portfolio managers responsible for this fund, so the four main portfolio managers on the SA equity side would be Murray Winkler, Gavin Forberg, myself, and Mike Lawrenson. And then Rob Willerman, who heads up is our global portfolio manager. We work closely with him to get the best global ideas, a curated range of the best global ideas into this fund. And I think there's the other thing about our team is depth of experience. I think all of the portfolio managers on this fund, lots of gray hair, in my case, no hair. If, over 20 years of experience in the market, all of us on this slide, and supported by the team of analysts that we have in the background. So if I just touch on some of the ideas that we have in the fund and looking at some of the buckets and the way we think about how we dissect the market, we've got some of the non-resource managers, the global sort of consumer names in the fund, Naspers and Prosus, Anheuser-Busch, Bidcorp, British American Tobacco. But then really, we're quite excited at the moment, given the more positive economic outlook post the GNU on the SA Inc. side. And that's really from a SA Financials perspective. We've got a significant amount of banks in the portfolio, as well as insurers. So FirstRand, ABSA, we also own Momentum. We've done well out of Momentum in this fund, continue to hold that position. And early in this year, we were adding more SA Inc. to the portfolio. We've had Fushini Group for a while. We've had Motors, so we've added a bit to that. And then early in this year, during the earlier sell-off, we added to the likes of Bidvest, Remgro, Allwoods as well. And then on the resources side, Anglo American, we really like the copper in the portfolio. We think there's a lot of value to be unlocked, and you could see with BHP split early in this year, that's an attractive portfolio and asset to own. And then from the packaging side, Mondi, and we've also had Anglo Gold for some gold exposure into the fund to as a diversifier to offset. In terms of some of the global names that we've included in this fund, we've taken a more pragmatic approach to the AI theme. We think it's real. We have to be cognizant and cautious about some of the hype around it, but where we think there are real winners, we've added some of those names, the likes of Microsoft. I agree with Patrice earlier. I think Microsoft, it's one of our top ideas in the fund. I think there's a long runway in terms of monetizing the AI opportunity. And then some of the tech and the semiconductor names we've added in the likes of Broadcom. And then from a consumer name, again, beverages, soft beverages, we don't really have access to that in the SA market. So we've chosen a Mexican Coke bottler called Arca Continental. And then in terms of healthcare stocks, we don't have Pure Pharma in our market, as well as United Health. And on the industrial side, we placed our Sasol position with Shell, where we think there's it's better diversified. It trades at a significant discount to the US peers, and lots of upside on Shell with great returns in terms of returns to shareholders. And then from an electrification perspective, GE Vernova in this fund also. So just to summarize all of that, I really think, from Laurium's perspective, I think we given the hedge fund background, we cognizant about the managing downside risk. I think the team is quite, very integrated in the sense of SA, African, global, and really just to maintain that nimbleness and agility of a boutique is what drives us every day. And we eat our own cooking. All of our guys, we don't have PA trading. Our money is all invested in the same funds alongside clients, and we're all shareholders in the business, aligned with our investors. Thanks.